and I'm from Flipabit team. In the last lesson, we reproduced the interface of the original app. I hope you didn't run into any problems with this lesson. If you missed the previous lesson, start there. Today, we will connect our interface to the data. The service provides the data in JSON or XML format. Flipabit supports basic data formats such as JSON, XML or CSV, as well as Google Sheets, Excel and Firebase database. These may be local files, files on a remote server or IP services, as in our case. When imported, any format is converted into a table. By the way, Flipabit tables use SQLite technology, which allows creating queries of any complexity if so desired. If you have specified an online link for importing data and suppose the data has changed on the server, you can synchronize this data in Flipabit by means of a simple call. Now we got a table of data and we need to display this in our application. For example, to display text or an image from a specific cell. To do this, we simply link our widget to a cell in the table and that's it. If it is a text widget, it will display text. If it is an image widget, it will display the image. If it is a web widget, it will open a web page, and so on. Obviously, a table usually has more than one row. Initially, the widget displays data from the cell in the first row. To display data from another row, we can use a simple action to specify a new row number for the widget and it will refresh on its own. If we were to combine the widgets into a group using the table widget, it will happen automatically. In the last lesson, we added widgets for displaying weather data and then combined them into the main group. Today, we will connect each widget to a specific cell in the first row. We will then transform the entire group into a scrollable list. Then, while scrolling, the row number from the data table will automatically change for all widgets. Scrolling to the right will show the data from the next line, to the left from the previous one. We will receive data from the OpenWeatherMap service. To do this, you need to register. Registration is free. After registration, go to the My API key section. Make sure you have a key. We will need it to send queries. Let's go to the API section. There are several options here for receiving data. The options where data is provided by the hour and by the day is suitable for us. Open the documentation. Copy the sample request. Let's send the request. We see the error message. We need to use the API key. Copy the key and paste it into the URL. Excellent, we received the data. If your display contains unformatted text, such as this, you need to install a browser extension. We need data by the hour and by the day, while we will not need data by the minute. Let's exclude per minute data. Note the default temperature is displayed in degrees Kelvin, but we need Fahrenheit. So we need to substitute the units parameter in our query. Now the temperature is in degrees Fahrenheit. Let's add JSON data to Flipabit. Copy the link. In the Flipabit, open the database inspector. Click Create. Select JSON, select the remote URL. Paste the copied URL, click Download. Unchecked key value if it's checked. As you can see, the data from JSON has been converted into a regular table format. Here, the nested elements were converted to fields with a slash character. For example, the current temperature will be in a column named current/temp. Note that our table currently has over 1000 columns, while the app will require a little over 100. So let's select only the required fields. Open the Weather Assets folder, go to the Database folder, open the Database Fields file. Copy the content. In the Import window, click Edit Fields. Paste the copied fields, click OK. Excellent, now we have 120 columns and nothing extra. Click Next to finish the data import. Double-click the table name and then enter weather. I'm planning now to connect widget after widget to data. Select the city name widget. Open the database inspector. Click Connect, click No in the dialog. In the list, select the weather table. We will use the time zone cell for the name of the city. Select the cell. Click OK. That's not exactly the name of the city. We will fix that later. Select the next widget. Click Connect, select No in the dialog. In the database list, select the weather table. And bind our widget to the current weather or description cell. Close the window, select the weather temp widget. Click Connect. Now we click on Yes to apply the current text as a replacement template. In the table, select the current temp cell. Note that the temperature is displayed with a fractional component, but we need an integer value. So now we slightly adjust the query to round the number to the nearest integer. If you are not familiar with this, SQL queries would be the only thing that might appear difficult today. We need queries to make the data readable. For example, in the original data, the temperature is presented in fractional form and the day and time in form of a timestamp. That said, we will sometimes round the fractional number to an integer and convert the timestamp into the day of the week or numeric value of the hour. Right-click the column header and select Copy. Add it to our query. The data in the table has disappeared, which means that there is an error in our query. Here a comma is needed to separate the fields' names. So in this query we select current temp. This is followed by the star character. Which means select all fields. Current temp is the first field in the table. Let's round it using the round function. Let's call this field temp. Select the temp cell and click OK. The value of the widget has not changed yet because we need to insert the field name between $% characters in the replacement template. Excellent. Now select the weekday min-max widget. Click Connect. Select Yes, use a replacement template. In the table, we need the daily O-temp max and daily O-temp min fields. Daily O includes data for the current day. We also need to round the result. Copy the column names and paste it into the query. Add the round function. And let's call the fields max and min. Excellent. Let's close the window and substitute these fields in our replacement template between % symbols. We now need to connect the data to the hourly list. We will need icons here. Let's add them. Select the Assets widget, open the widget inspector. We already have one sunny weather icon here. Click Add. Open the Icons folder and select all icons except for the one already added. The file names change once they are added to the editor. Let's rename them back. In the images list, right-click an image, select your name and type the original name. As you can see at the end of the name of each icon, is a symbol DON, which corresponds to day or night time. Wonderful, we have added all the icons. Now select the hourly widget in the database inspector. Click Connect, click Yes. Now we will need a slightly more complex query. Because we need to convert the time, which is initially represented by the number of the seconds. But we need to get the value of the hour. In the database folder, open the hourly SQL file. Here we have an example of a query where the timestamp taken into account the time offset to get the local time in this city is converted into a date object by using the datetime function. Then, by applying the time function and the age parameter, we only display the value of for the hour. Copy this query and paste into the query field. Click OK. Now we need to substitute the names of the corresponding cells in the replacement template. Copy and paste file name starting with the hour, indicate the value of the hour. Starting on the second line, we added a field name between the double % characters. Let's do this for all lines. Wonderful. Let's substitute the names of the temperature field in the same manner. Let's make sure everything box is intended. Now we need to substitute the icon value. Click on Connect to see the name of the field with the icon. This is the hourly weather icon field. Copy this cell and paste it into our template. Excellent. We see that the icon is displayed. Let's do this for all lines. It's not very convenient to work with a large amount of text in such a small text field. So let's open the text editor and do everything there. Now, paste this back into the replacement template. Wonderful. We see that we now have icons, the value of the hour and temperature. Moving on to the next widget, select the weekly widget. Here we need to display the name of the day or of the week and the corresponding weather icon. Click Connect, use the replacement template. Again, we need a more complex query to convert the timestamp into the name of the day of the week. In the database folder, open the weekly SQL file. Let's copy all the text. Click OK. Substitute the field names in the replacement template. Look, it will be sunny in Chicago all week, those lucky Chicagoans. Let's now substitute the names of the days of the week in the same manner. Wonderful! Now select the weekly temp widget. Here we see displayed the low and high temperature for each day of the week. Click Connect, use the replacement template. Select the weather table. In the database folder, open the weekly database SQL file. As you can see, the temperature values here are simply rounded to the nearest integer. Copy and paste into the query field. Substitute these fields in our replacement template. Great! Go to the weather description widget. Click Connect, select Yes, use a replacement template. We need the current and today's maximum temperature for the weather table. This is the current temp field. Let's round it. The next field is a temp max that displays the maximum temperature value. Also round it and rename to max. Substitute fields in our template. Perfectly. Now select the weather params widget. Click Connect, select Yes. Use a replacement template, select the weather table. We need a custom query again. Let's open the weather params file. This file contains data in hours and minutes for dust and down, rounded values for wind, speed, appeared temperature, and UV index. We also calculate the value in millimeters of mercury and visibly in kilometers. Then, based on an angle from 1 to 360, we calculate the wind direction, for example. South, southwest, or northwest. Paste the query. Click OK and substitute the field names. There is no humidity field. Let's add this. After a space, add the wind speed. Excellent. Let's now enable the original widget. And switch to the second image in the widget inspector. We see that the humidity is percent. And the wind is in meters per second. Let's add this. Select the weather params widget. Let's add the characters missing the replacement template in the database inspector. Excellent. We have connected the data to our app. Now let's display the weather for several cities. First, let's add a few rows to our table with the weather information for different regions. In the database inspector, select the weather table and click Edit Data. Then let's modify our query in the browser by changing the coordinates to get the weather data from another region. Copy the responses and add it to Flipabit. Click Add Row with Data, paste the copied text and click OK. We see that a new line was added. Let's repeat it to get 4 lines. Excellent! We now have a weather information from 4 different regions. Great. Close the window. Now I'm planning to use the table widget to get a horizontal scrollable list with the cities we just added. First, let's move the main group widget off the screen. Select our group. In the geometry inspector, enter -1 in the X field. Now select page 1, add a table widget. Expand it to fit the page. Drag it above the original image. Now we should adjust the height in accordance with the original interface. Let's now display the original widget and reduce the height of our table. Taking into account the bottom panel. Wonderful. Hide the original widget, select the table widget. Open the database inspector, click Connect. Select the weather table. Now our widget is connected to the table. Open the widget inspector. Let's make sure that list is selected in the layout menu. In the orientation list, select horizontal. Check the snap. Let's set the rounds and the columns to 1. Disable the animation. In the connected group list, select main group. As you can see, weather data instantly appeared on the screen. In essence, the table widget clones the connected group according to the number of rows in the database. We can now scroll through our list and the information from the corresponding line will be displayed. Good job! If you have any questions or run into difficulties, please contact us on the forum. Below is a link to a forum thread specially dedicated to this lesson. Share your opinion about this video in the comments so that we could make the following lessons clearly more interesting and more useful. Thank you for your attention and for spending this time with us.